Today, let's talk snow day meals. So last week we shared a video where we talked about our meal plan for when we could do no shopping because of a snow day. Now for you, it may not be a snow day. You may have like a sick day where either you or somebody in your house is sick and you just can't leave the house, or sometimes even like if your car breaks down and you can't go shopping. There are things that will always seem to happen in life where you may not just be able to leave the house the day that you were planning on. So what we do is we try to plan out and have a day, or have meals and meal items, like individual specific items set aside for when those circumstances happen. So what I've done is I've broken it down into breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and dessert. Because if you're anything like our family, when the kids are at home 100% all the time, they always seem to be hungry. So we always try to prioritize snack. Plus having a small snack and a smaller lunch can sometimes space them out better before dinner, and they're not as ravenous at dinner time. And then dessert is just because if I'm in the house 100% of the time, all the time, I'm going to want something sweet at the end of the day. So I'm going to run you through our list. Some of these items are going to be actual specific stock up items, and then some of these are going to be meal ideas. So let's run through breakfast really quick. So the first thing on breakfast is we do biscuits. Every now and then on a Saturday we will take what we call a baking day. We will either make biscuits or muffins. I'll get back to muffins in a minute. We will either freeze the biscuits plain, or while the kids are baking biscuits, I will fry up eggs, sausage, bacon, any extra protein, or sometimes I'll just buy extra protein when we're making biscuits, and we will freeze the biscuits. We might freeze a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. We usually just freeze them all in 1 gallon size bag, so we're not using a lot of plastic bags. When Matt was able to heat up food at work, like in the microwave, we would send them in individual bags. But normally you can just throw them all in one bag, wrap them in a paper towel. Once they come out of the freezer, microwave them for 30 to 45 seconds, and boom, you've got a hot bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit year round. Muffins. Muffins are super easy. Find your favorite muffin recipe. If you don't have one, look some up on Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. Find a basic what we do is we find a basic muffin recipe and then add in what we like. Rebecca made some recently that were Reese's flavored muffins. But find a basic recipe, and then also whenever you're thinking about these things, keep in account, like, do I want to actually have to buy all-purpose flour and baking soda and baking powder? My oldest prefers baking with self-rising, so I usually end up getting self-rising. I prefer baking some things with all-purpose, so I also buy all-purpose flour. Write down things that you like having that you could freeze, and then write the ingredients list out. The next one is oatmeal. I do pre-packaged oatmeal, and I also do made-from-scratch oatmeal. The pre-packaged is for when we're buying for stock up, is so if I can't get to the store and it's like either for sick or just can't leave the house, Matt can still have a hot breakfast for work. So that's what I buy that box for. The instant or the quick oats are for I can make from scratch for everybody who's going to be here. Like if all of us are snowed in here, all 5 of us, or just the girls and me, I can still make oatmeal with the quick oats and then just add in like one of my favorites is you can just slightly sweeten it and then, or not sweeten it at all, and add strawberry preserves to it. Like you could literally dump an entire jar of strawberry preserves into 3 cups of fully cooked oats and you're done. That's it. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is a staple in our house. One of my kids could eat peanut butter for every single meal and put it on every single thing. So we always try to keep peanut butter in our house, and peanut butter allows us to have a protein. For another shelf-stable protein freebie here, flaxseed. We also stock up on flaxseed as well. And the last thing for breakfast is grits. We buy them in the containers at Aldi's. They're like the coffee-shaped cylinder containers at Aldi's, and those you make just like quick oats. You follow the specific instructions. You can either make them savory or sweet, which is what I like about those. Where oatmeal, usually you have a sweet oatmeal. With grits, you can either have sweet or savory, and that way if I don't have stuff to make biscuits, I could still do eggs with grits, or if we want them sweet, again, just add jelly to them once they come out, and then you don't even have to touch them, and everybody can pick their own little jellies to put in and have different flavored grits for everybody. Moving on to lunch, number 1 is ramen noodles. You can do so much ramen noodles. You can either make them like a soup, you can have them plain, you actually can stir fry ramen noodles. Sometimes we add proteins like leftovers. At Christmas, we took leftover ham and cut them into cubes and put that into instant or ramen noodles made as a soup with some spices, and it tasted like faux noodles. It was amazing. The next one on here is popcorn chicken. Popcorn chicken is more diverse than chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets are usually, the chicken is the main meat and then you want a side to go with it. Popcorn chicken either can be a main dish or it can be part of a main dish. If we can't get out and we have like everything else to make Alfredo except the meat, I'll sometimes take popcorn chicken and bake it in the oven, and there's our meat for the Alfredo. Chicken salad. Chicken salad is always on my list of things to stock up for because 100% of chicken salad ingredients are shelf stable. The crackers, canned chicken, mayonnaise. I've got the recipe. We did a recipe years ago. It's one of our older videos, so the quality is not as the same. But every single ingredient in chicken salad is shelf stable. So it's always on my list of things to stock up for, like everything that I would need to make it. The next thing would be baked potatoes. Potatoes usually hold, and especially in the winter, they'll hold longer. What we do lately is you can actually cook them in the Instant Pot for less time than you do in the oven. If you don't have an Instant Pot, and bonus in the winter time, the oven heats your house up, so you can make baked potatoes in the oven. Some people can still do them in the microwave. We don't. We either do them in the Instant Pot or the oven because we'll make like a lot of them at one time, like for 2 or 3 meals worth at one time. Then we can just reheat them in the microwave as needed. And the last one, I have just cheese roll-ups, but there's so much you could do with tortillas. You can actually bake tortillas with cinnamon and sugar and make cinnamon sugar chips, or you can bake tortillas and make your own chips. You can dip them in whatever sauces and stuff you have left. The cheese roll-ups, you can serve it with like any salsas that you have left. Salsa's shelf stable. You could serve it with sour cream. Be creative with this one. Or you could make like cheese quesadillas instead of roll-ups, and you can fry them in a skillet. Usually for lunches I go easier because if I'm sick I don't want to cook, or if we're homeschooling I want to get through lunch quickly so we can get back to work quickly so we're not doing school all day. Dinners. The first 2 are just ingredients. Beans and rice. You can do so much with that. You can do soup beans. One of the things that we will do is like we will freeze leftover ham bones, and then we will make a broth with it. I mean, you can freeze the broth too. We actually find for us personally, it's not the same flavor, but you can freeze the bone and then make it into a broth when you go to make your beans. And we have like soup beans with ham pieces in it. You can also, but also another thing to keep in mind is like most people usually stock up on like pinto beans, soup beans. Think about black beans. You could also have, one of our favorites is we take black beans with rice. Like I said, second one's rice. 1 can of black beans, leftover rice, or make it fresh in a rice cooker, or some rices you can do in the microwave. Like Indian, there's a brand of basmati you can do in the microwave. Take the black beans, put them over rice with whatever you like with rice. My middle child puts chili powder. I put chili powder, cumin, shredded cheese, sour cream if we have it, and salsa, and that's my lunch. And the third one is any kind of frozen meats. This goes back to the popcorn chicken, but also you could do like chicken patties. The same brand that we get of the popcorn chicken, you can buy chicken patties. You can pop those in, and then if you have leftover bread, you can have chicken patty sandwiches. Other frozen meats that you could look at is you could buy frozen Asian chicken, and then that way you can have Chinese food if you're snowed in at home. We do a lot of Chinese foods. We like Chinese food. We like a lot of Italian food, so we do a lot of that. The fourth one is spices. Check your spice cabinet. If you don't know which spices you use a lot, as you're cooking for like a week, get like your phone out or pen and paper and write down, be like, this is what I used on this meal. This is what I used on this meal. Then you could start making a rolling list of whatever spices you use, and that way you know what you need to stock up on the next time. And the last one is, again, any kind of canned proteins. Canned chicken. The other reason I put this on here is I do canned tuna, but I usually do it for dinners because Matt likes tuna and I like tuna. One of the kids likes tuna, the other 2 don't. But you could do like canned tuna, canned chicken. Another one is refried beans. Refried beans are also shelf-stable. But look for also different kinds of shelf-stable proteins to have on hand, because you can do so many things as long as, like for me, I always try to build the meal off of the protein first and then the fruits and vegetables. And then at the end, you do a filler, like either a carb or like maybe a cauliflower, like a rice cauliflower, stuff like that. Moving on to snacks, because again, if kids are home all the time, they're going to want to eat. Our staple ones, I'll just name them off real quick. Dried fruit, those are Aldi's. I always get them at Aldi's because it's cheaper. Protein bars. Again, Aldi's has a wonderful selection of protein bars, but so does Walmart. Protein bars are also for like, just for Matt, for work, for extra, for if he needs it. Nuts of any kind. Our favorite are peanuts and cashews. Again, we usually get those at Aldi's. Popcorn. A lot of people look at popcorn as like, well, just for movie parties. My kids love popcorn like just snacking. Popcorn was actually like 10 years ago, so it's been a while, so they might have changed it by then, but like when my kids were little, popcorn was what they recommended for kids for snack, just lightly salted, because it was a healthier snack than, say, like eating Cheetos. So we try to stock up on popcorn. And number 5, this is not product placement, Go-Go Squeeze. I try to keep Go-Go Squeeze on hand because it's applesauce. It's drinkable, non-messy applesauce. And if we don't eat it while we're at home, snowed in, I can take them on the go with this on adventures. So that's one of my definite stock ups. Also for the tweens, I get blasts and they're bigger. So let's move on to desserts. You don't have to do dessert, but again, everybody, you know, if you're stuck at home, you may want something sweet and you may not be able to get to the store. So there's some stuff that we just have on hand, like brownie in a mug. Super easy. If you have the stuff, if you're already buying the stuff to make flour, or like for biscuits or muffins, just buy the cocoa powder to make brownies. You already have everything else that you need. Another one that we like to do is peanut butter cookies. Our recipe is super simple. The kids did a video on that one. I think it's one of our kid-friendly ones, so you can't comment on it. You can let us know on another video if, you know, you have any questions on that video. Cobbler. This one's so super easy too. There are some super easy cobbler recipes. I might do a video on that soon. I have one that my Nana taught me that has a bunch of basic shelf-stable ingredients, which is why it's on this list. Heavy whipping cream is not 100%, you know, stable. It'll hold like a week or two in your fridge, but it's something that if I know snow is coming, or if I know we're gonna be home for a while for any reason, I will buy extra of it, because you can take heavy whipping cream and whip it up, put it on top of hot chocolate. You can put it on top of, or you can make it into a mousse and make it with a dessert, add some chocolate chips to it. You can change it up in different ways and have it as a dessert by itself. And speaking of which, number 5 is chocolate chips, because we can do so much with chocolate chips. Also, like, I'll mention that real quick as a freebie, drinks. We keep coffee in bulk. We keep tea bags on hand. I always try to buy extra of Matt's drinks in case I can't get out the next time to buy him drinks. Hot chocolate. In the wintertime, we buy hot chocolate in bulk. And we also do like water additive drinks. So there's 5 of those too. Those were just off the top of my head. But that's it for items that we look at for stocking up for, or meals that we literally, well, like literally if I just put, I could put chicken salad on my list and I'll know in my head because of how many times I've bought the stuff for it of, okay, this is what I need. But these are just meal suggestions that we've had. Because we live in an area that is known for black ice, if it's really icy out, I don't go driving. So now I'm used to stocking up on these things. Again though, you could look at it as your emergency pantry of if somebody gets sick, or if your car breaks down, or if you just can't get to the store. These are all just suggestions. I would love to know what your suggestions are below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for checking out the first video. I'll try to link it in the cards at the end. But thank you for watching that, and thank you for the suggestions video, and we will see you next time.